Thank you for staying with us. Let's now go through the Nigerian papers this morning to see what the headlines will be and come back for some analysis of the matter. The Nation newspaper is where we're kicking the ball this morning. Deary, I joined the APC to stop Bielsa from being buried with the PDP. Etoba, this is quite interesting to me. But we'll talk about that when we come up. The News Direct is on the same matter as well. Why I defected to APC, Governor Deary is still talking right here. The Daily Times, a little bit on the same matter as well. Governor Deary's defection, Bielsa too critical for us to ignore, quoting the APC, even if it was my village, as long as somebody lives there and joins. I mean, come on. You can't ignore that. It's an addition. The Punch newspaper is also around the same political matter, but this time around, something about the internal wrangling within the PDP. Governors battle Wike as PDP faction jostles for control. We're waiting to hear the last about this matter within the PDP. But this Nigeria is running on the same matter, politics again, but this time around back to Deary. Finally, Deary dumps PDP for the APC. The Leadership newspaper goes back to the PDP crisis. Wike speaks as faction throws People's Democratic Party into disarray. They're getting more colors than we ever thought. But the Blueprints newspaper is also chiming this light on that as well. Factional PDP national chairman assumes office. Ayan-led group takes over. Well, let's see what happens. The Platform Times, but this time around something a bit different on economy, which I really love here. $32.8 million data breach. Meta backs down, settles with Nigerian government outside of court. We'll tell you exactly what this is and how we got to this point right here. Sounds like something good, I think. The Hope newspaper is chiming the same matter on economy, but this time around in Ondo State. Firm secures $50 billion for Ondo mega refinery and a free trade zone. Maybe we're beginning to see some expansion, in the country about free trade zones. But the Daily Independent is also on another matter right here. Decline in oil prices threatens Nigeria's fiscal stability. No, we can't allow that to continue. And finally, in sports, and even though my guy Osima is not there today, but Liverpool and Real Madrid is talking. The coach and his old team member are talking something else, but I'll tell you exactly what that would be, Etoba. Let's begin this matter of the Nation newspaper and the defection of Governor Deary from the PDP to the APC. This is the fourth PDP governor to exit that umbrella into the broom.
Maybe they needed to sweep their houses. That's just on the lighter mode.
They're not bothered about the rain any longer, right?
Yes. But Governor's Deary defection has been hanging. I mean, it has been like the best-known secret for the past 1.5 months or thereabout.
Right, absolutely.
Especially in Bielsa. Modalities were just being put in place for the actual movement to APC. But if you know Bielsa, if you've been there before, you will know that that state is one state that shouldn't stand alone. It shouldn't stand alone because they have a lot to put together to make the state come out strong and be viable. The state, I flew over Bielsa itself, on a chopper, and I saw Bielsa right down there and the sea like 20 feet above Bielsa. So Bielsa is one state that doesn't need to stand alone. So I can understand Deary's concern and why he had to move to APC. For PDP, that's one loss. For APC,
that's one game.
Welcome.
but when next you're taking that chopper flight, please?
I was about to say, I'll go with you.
But Maria, the Nigerian News Direct, look, moving from one political party to the other is not really the issue. But do you need to move to a political party to be able to deliver your oath as a governor of a state?
And that's why sometimes they say these people did not go because of the people that they cry that they go because they go for various reasons. But the other day we were talking on this table and we said, you know, the PDP's political dominance in Enugu has ended. Now we can say the PDP's political dominance in Bayelsa has ended as well. I'm not surprised that, you know, that he left because, like Thomas said, you know, we've been hearing conversations that he was going to leave and he wasn't going to leave. But now we fully see that he has left. My problem with this whole thing is that at the end of the day, PDP, it will take them a lot for them to stand tall again. That's if they can even stand tall. Since 1999 to 2025, you know, every governor in Bayelsa has been PDP. I'll take you quickly to just this little one. Jepria Lemesiga, 1999 to 2005. Goodluck Jonathan, you know, he was deputy. He now became, you know, governor, 2025 to 2007. 2005 to 2007. And, you know, we can go on and on till now. We have Diri, that in 2020 he got into power to 2025 and all of that. My worry is that PDP, I do not think that they can ever stand tall again, honestly speaking, because the amount of defections that we're seeing, it's worrisome. And now he said the reason why he's leaving is for his people. But another thing I want people to know that this same Bayelsa was the Bayelsa that produced President Goodluck Jonathan.
That's right.
Know, he became president.
That's
so Bayelsa is, you know, a state that we do not joke with. Like, there are so many things, so many resources in Bayelsa as well. I'm just hoping that it's really for the people that, you know, he's moving for and not just for his personal gains. And people also need to understand that moving from one political party to another one doesn't give you that strength that you can do anything. Remember the news we read the other day that whichever party you are, if you commit crime, they will sanction you. Which, that is how it's supposed to be.
Ria, I would hope with you as well, but the Daily Times is talking the same thing. Olamide, the APC is saying Bayelsa, like she just said, is not a state we can ignore.
Yeah.
And this is another strong addition for the APC. Boy, the APC is going to be dancing to the goal in 2027.
Definitely, without a doubt, this definitely does deepen APC's stronghold in the South-South. It positions Bayelsa very well. On one hand, to be closer to federal funding, to be closer to Abuja. On the other hand, the South-South traditionally held a lot of Nigerian ideals when we look at the amount of oil that they had, the amount of political freedom and political will that they had. So to see them sort of, I wouldn't say bending to political will, but it does raise the question of, once again, we see somebody else, these mass defections. Are you moving for development for your state and for your people, or are you moving for political strategism? That is what we don't know. We saw some institutions come out and they said, you know, APC is forcing people to defect. These people look happy to me. They look happy.
I don't think they can force anybody.
When you watch those videos, they look so happy to be there. It's very interesting to see ahead of the 2027 elections, these mass defections. We're recording defections in record numbers. We've never seen these amounts of defections before.
The politics can be happy.
I know. I'll just say something quickly. You know, I also worry for our democracy because at the end of the day, you know, we want a viable, you know, democracy is not just one. Nigeria is not a one-party state.
That's right.
We need to have our opposition do well, and that's why I wonder what is happening to ADC. I wonder what is happening to PDP now. The umbrella has cut. And I'm wondering, you know, in 2027, we need viable opposition.
Ria, it's not only PDP that's opposition in Nigeria.
ADC, I said ADC. I called ADC. I called Accord.
We have LP.
LP. What's happening with LP? We don't even hear anything from LP again. I think that there's a problem with all the opposition that we have. I do not know what they're doing, and they need to get their feet on the ground.
Okay. Yes. The PDP has its peculiar problems. Yes, I agree. You know, and everybody does agree that PDP is in serious problem. Right now, they are so factionalized and things are not just moving right for them. Yeah. But do we have an opposition in Nigeria? Yes.
But are they viable?
Wait, what's the quality of the opposition that we have? ADC that everybody is saying, okay, these people came to be the opposition. They do not have anything, so they don't have structures, so to say. And LP is also going through the same problems that PDP is going through. So we really can talk about opposition in Nigeria after the election.
And I have to ask, if Governor Doye Diri's defection was a no-brainer, why did his deputy, Desalokobiri, decide to stay behind? You know what
I mean? Know, Olamide, before you know he has when it comes to politics, you never know. You just have to keep your feet.
Well, you know, this is quite interesting.
And then again, Nelson, go on. I think they also need to be careful. See, when the honey is left open, everybody will want to gather. So I also think that they should be careful, you know, with the amount of defections and the amount of allowing the people they're allowing to their party. Because now everybody sees APC as the good party, doing well, the beautiful honey. Let them not destroy it.
Well, because that's what also happened to the PDP. And here we are with them. Anyways, I'm sure the APC knows exactly what to do. But Etoma, this battle that's on the Punch newspaper, in the PDP now, we saw the former Governor Wike on our sister network yesterday. I mean, as always, he was talking all kinds.
Wike always talks.
Right. The police has sealed their headquarters. He's back in the move, back the chair moves in, and Damagung block is fuming. Tension ahead of this their purported national convention. Do you really see the PDP being able to put their house into some level of peace before the 2027 election?
It's too close.
You don't drink palm wine when your house is burning. You know, you leave the palm wine and try to put off the fire. You know, PDP right now, it's not a happy party.
Right.
You know, and the governors that are going against Wike, they believe they are doing the right thing, because when you look at it, for the past 2 years or so, if there's any controversy in PDP, somehow Wike is connected. So the governors believe that Wike has this idea of killing the party completely. That is why they are pursuing him, they are talking to him, and they are pointing fingers at him.
Well,
but does it bother him? That's a different question.
I don't think Wike is the problem of PDP, and this is not me just trying to side with Wike.
Look, you really cannot know right now.
They said it's a problem, and then but they also have other problems. I feel like with the PDP, it's just like nobody wants to bend for anybody. Everybody wants to be chairman. Everybody wants to be boss in that party.
You see, in politics, there's a lot of intrigues that happens behind the scenes that we all might not get to know. But I think we've done a lot of justice on this.
Yes, I just want to add something very quickly.
Quickly,
I think aside from, let's not just focus on Wike, let's focus on how many political figures hold a lot of power in party machinery, even when they operate outside its mainstream structure. Why should that be? I think the governor should respond as governors.
Well, I couldn't agree more with you, Olamide. But the leadership newspaper, Eto Maria and Olamide, there's something else I'd like us to talk about here, which is the peace pact that was signed in Anambra State. Anambra is standing in for an election this Saturday. And the wonderful Bishop Matthew Kuka, led the committee to get all the aspirants to sign that pact. I'm hoping, Ria, that we would see the dividends of that signature on Saturday.
I'm hoping too, but like I said earlier on, Anambra has been very peaceful, which I'm happy. Election is coming and it's so peaceful. I have friends in Anambra that I talk to that you can see is calm and collected. Nothing like that is happening. I like what the bishop did. I love the fact that they signed. But even with these politicians, when they sign, see, when it comes to politicians, I hold it with a pinch of salt, because you never know what will happen. But all I want to say to the new INEC chairman, Josh Amukwika, on that, this election is what we're using to test you to see how 2027 will be.
That's right.
So we want it to be peaceful. We want it to be fair. We want the people of Anambra to go out. Nobody should force them. They should vote for who they want to vote, because we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, and I want it to be peaceful as possible. So I like that the bishop said this. At the end of the day, Christianity, brings about peace. So we should follow through with this peace. But it's not only the signing. He should have recorded them talking to us.
And Olamide, the Blueprint newspaper, there's a picture story that I'd like us to talk about. That is the visit of the CEO of the NDLEA to the president, to some kind of an update of what is going on around our drug, should I say, industry in the country.
Drug cartel.
He has been on the forefront of, arresting drug criminals. But it would seem like some other days we keep seeing stories of illicit drug movement in the country. As much as the NDLEA is doing, why do we still have that?
These are networks and cartels that have been established. They're hegemonic in nature. They have been established on the ground for decades. There are people who their whole family, from the grandfather, they peddle drugs. Yeah. They have cartels that are in place. It's going to take decades to unravel as well. What I want to say is that you're constantly seeing news of drug cartels and drug busts and drug arrests in the media. It means that NDLEA is on the ground. It means that they know their onions. It means that they are catching these people. And I like the fact that he's reporting that to the president. We don't report on drug abuse as much as we should. It's ravaging our country right now. Almost every young person I know has some sort of vice, and I find that very, very worrying.
Very disturbing.
I know that Buba Marwa, he has a he's very convicted, because this matter hits very close to home for him.
That's right.
Especially in the northern community. Drugs are ravaging, and so I think it's important that we continue reporting. But these cartels, they are hegemonic. They're
and also, Olamide, I love what they're doing with the nightclubs. I'm sorry for everybody that goes to clubs, but I think that they should continue with it, because that's even one of the main places that this happens. So the fact that we now see them raiding nightclubs, I think that it will send a warning, to people that do that in the clubs, because our youth cannot keep on being hooked on drugs.
Zero tolerance.
We would not even take that.
And tomatoes of economy right about now, and that's on the, I think, the Platform Times. We see this issue between Meta, the parent company of Facebook, and so on and forth, now finally settling out of court with the federal government. $32.8 million. That's some,
It's a lot of money.
32.8 billion. Is it million?
It's million, actually.
It's million, okay.
Yeah.
I was praying it's billion. Unsolicited adverts, some things that happen on those platforms and the rest, and the federal government says, no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Because of all these things, this is what you are owing Nigeria. And Meta said, look, I'm going to close down my platform. Your people need my platform more than I need the profit. But that was initial gra-gra. Now, yes, now it's as if they have done the mathematics and they have seen that they actually need the people in Nigeria, the users in Nigeria more than they thought. And they have decided to settle out of court. In fact, both parties took their resolutions to court and handed it over to the judge.
I think this out-of-court settlement, what it tells me is that there is now global respect for Nigeria's local data protection laws and protection regimes.
Which was supposed to be.
Global data laws should not supersede our local data protection laws. And this shows that there's a level of respect and coming to power. And even Nigeria rising up to the world standard and best practices of global data protection.
I just saw it like Nigeria said, we no go agree, and they won it. And that's how it looked like to me.
And this is the first big.
I know, but this is the first time Nigeria is challenging a big company like Meta, and now they are coming to agreement and setting out of court.
Rhea, the matter is that Nigeria is a big market for any company.
Do you know the amount of people that are on Facebook in Nigeria as well? They cannot even say they want to exist because we know what we bring to the table as well.
But speaking of economy, the Hope newspaper, Rhea, the firm is recording $50 billion, a billion now,
we'll take the billion in his chopper.
Right, refinery at a free trade zone. The project is to deliver about 500,000 BPDs refinery, a 1,471 hectare free zone in Ilaje. It looks like a good one because if that is situated there, maybe we can start seeing some kind of decongestion at the Lagos free, trade zone.
It looks like a good one, Nelson, but all the monies that we've called, when you call monies like this, I just hope they go really into
you like money a lot.
I just hope they go really into what they're supposed to go through for. Because sometimes we see these heavy monies like this, there's no accountability. At the end of the day, this thing will go down the drain. We'll come and talk about it on this table again. Now, where did the money go? What happened? So I'm just hoping that it's a good initiative. If it's done properly, the money is being put where it's supposed to be put, it's a good one because it will help in so many reasons. So let's just hope that the money goes to where it's supposed to go to.
And Olamide, I don't like this one I saw on the Daily Independent. The decline in oil prices is threatening the country's fiscal stability. I see you're facing renewed pressure as the sustained decline in oil crude prices threaten to undermine government's revenue, foreign exchange inflow, and fiscal stability. This is why we need our refineries to work in the country.
Absolutely. I said it the other day on this table. I believe out of 5 refineries that we have in Nigeria, and I believe 2 are state-owned, only 1 is up to production capacity. And even that, it's only operating at the bare minimum level. Now, I'm just going to draw a parallel to this whole issue about, the United States threatening Nigeria. When you look at things like this, this is why we are becoming sovereign, we are becoming independent, our economy is finding its footing. And I believe, or some people are saying, they want to ledge in there before we do that.
Because if we're economically free, they're going to lose a whole lot
But let's
of things.
also talk about
However, Rhea, before you come in,
it's not just one, it's not a monopoly.
I know Port Harcourt refinery is on the way to that, but
let it be done.
Sorry, Tuma, you want to say something?
You want to say something? Okay.
Yes, our budgets are planned based on oil prices. We forecast and say oil prices will be $72 per barrel and so on, and we do all our calculations using that. Now, if the price goes below $72, that means we have a budget deficit.
Very true.
That is what is threatening right now. This is why it is so important that we diversify and not stay so much on oil.
And not just diversify successfully.
We
need to generate tangible revenue.
I agree with you, Olamide. We move now to our final paper this morning, which is the Sporting Life, and we see Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Slot unsure how fans will welcome Trent. Now he's saying that he's going to welcome Trent back to the club. To play
Liverpool?
At Liverpool, at Anfield on Tuesday. The championship leg with Real Madrid.
They're playing against Real Madrid.
He's going to welcome Trent pretty wonderfully well, but he's not sure of how the fans will receive the young man. If the Oga of the house, is welcoming his boy very well. Every other person should fall in line.
If we don't have Osime and others on that paper, they will take the headlines.
The beauty of sports lies in good sportsmanship. Yeah. It's important that the arena is filled with good vibes and welcoming fans.
Right.
But you can't force them to welcome.
You must. They must welcome him.
We need to forgive Trent for whatever it is. But that's how far we can go in the newspaper review segment. This one is still to come on TVC Breakfast. An in-depth discussion on terrorism in Nigeria, exploring the facts behind the headlines and uncovering the truth about Boko Haram's deadly legacy and the human cost of terrorism. Tune in to Experts for more analysis. Stay with us after the break, everyone.